Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zest with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today, it's an absolute honor to welcome Rashmi, a mental health practitioner and facilitator whose work beautifully blends psychology, creativity, and deep compassion. With training in psychodrama, transactional analysis, counseling principles, and suicide prevention, she creates meaningful spaces for emotional expression and healing. Her devotion to mental health and her courage to hold space for others, and her commitment to learning, growing, and serving are a true gift to this world, I believe. Her voice, her insights, and her heart are not just powerful, they are healing for all of us. And that is something we're going to experience today. She has her own podcast, Let's Talk, which you are more than welcome to go and explore. It is absolutely incredible. And we're just going to get some of her powerful insights on embodiment, creativity, and courage today, which I know will truly allow us to see ourselves in a different light. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Shel. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And thank you so much for reaching out and for us to have this really, I believe, powerful conversation today. Already there's so much just from your bio that I am really intrigued about, and I know that many will be. First of all, something that definitely I purposely didn't research because I want to hear it from you, is psychodrama. I would love to know more about this. And I believe you did over 600 hours. Is that correct?
In my bio, when I need to update it, it's 700 plus now.
Wow, even 600, like who's counting anymore? That's anyway, I would love to hear all about it.
Yeah, I would just say it's not the number of hours that actually matters. It's more about how much you've understood that modality, experienced it, gone out, practiced it, and seen it live out in a group or an individual setting. And yes, it is something that I get asked by my clients, the groups that I do. What is psychodrama, Rashmi? That's the first question. It's 100-year-old modality, Shel, by Dr. J.L. Moreno and his wife Zerka Moreno, who really helped him take this forward. I am happy that now it's like really growing in India as well, but it's a beautiful experiential modality where it's not talk therapy. We deal with things in action. It's like, recreating a particular scene that could have been traumatic, or you want a different response to a particular situation in life that can be worked on in psychodrama. We work a lot on different roles that we have, whether it's interpersonal, whether it's my intra-psychic roles, and how to look at this in the larger picture. So you need a facilitator who can help you. So like I said, it can be group work, it can be individual session.
Wow, amazing. And what my mind is straight away thinking when we think about how powerful the mind is and our reenactment in the mind of things that have happened to us. I would love your take on this, but this is just what's coming through right now, is I'm guessing that you can go to that point of the how the person has remembered it, really pull that out, and then recreate a new beautiful memory. Wow, that's so powerful because like as we know, there's so much, as people like to say, the monkey mind that just does this because it needs an outlet. And so if we just, okay, let's face it head on, whether that was an accurate representation of what happened or not, we're bringing it up, we're allowing it to come out, and then we get to play with it and we get to change it and add a new experience, a more empowering, safe experience, which I believe is another really powerful thing that you create, which is you're really about creating safe spaces. So I'd love to know more about what because I think when we say the word safe space, we straight away go to an something physical. So I'd love to know what your take is on a safe space.
Yeah, you very rightly said it that, when we talk about safe space, the first thing we think of is physical, but actually it is the safety that you feel within.
Mm,
So there is a lot of work that we do in groups where it is, before we even get into a drama, there is a lot of warm
yeah.
up around creating that safe space,
Mm,
creating that environment with the people in there where you can actually safely be vulnerable,
mm.
and a space where, shall we say, let's be non judgmental. But we are humans. We
Yes,
are
yes.
constantly judging everybody, we are constantly judging ourselves. But creating that space where, we at least try not to be judgmental about this other
Mm,
person's truth or the story, or,
yeah.
oh, she's like this, or he's like that, or how can this happen, or it's the person's truth, and you
Yes.
take it as it is. And the core principles that are followed are trauma informed, which is, safety, just like you rightly
Mm,
mentioned, confidentiality. Many a times, of course, there are different cultures and, different way we react as humans in the world, but it's about, can I be vulnerable here? What I am
absolutely.
sharing,
Yeah.
will that be kept safely? Will there be confidentiality? So when we
Mm,
build on these non-judgment, confidentiality, and that's where you make the person comfortable to even trust the people in the
yes,
room.
yes. Because also, when we think of, and I know the word trauma and how that is to the individual person may not be a traumatic experience to one, maybe to another. And just knowing some of the things that you focus on, like really, really tough topics, not topics, but things that have happened to people. I can imagine even not only the person actually going through that and expressing that, but the people that are a part of recreating that, that actually holds a lot of emotion for all of them
Hmm.
involved, and we'll all have our own experience of being involved and a part of recreating something that, yeah, I can imagine. Phew. Yeah.
And the beauty of it is sharing is very infectious. Like, if you see one person's story, the way, a facilitator or director in psychodrama, as we call it, helps them recreate that scene, it does tap into something in everybody in the group. And there is a
Mm,
learning, there is an insight. Oh, I connected with this in my life in this particular way.
yeah.
So, it
Mm,
works beautifully on the whole group. And I think vulnerability is also a little infectious.
yeah.
When I see someone in the room, it encourages me to talk, to share.
Yes, yes.
Okay, if this person can be vulnerable, so can I.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's the thing, isn't it? Which I'm really starting to understand and believe that every situation, there's always, even when it really doesn't feel like it, there's always some blessing and some gift in it that we can tap into, and we can see if we really really try to come out of the story sometimes and really look a little deeper. And I
Hmm.
know you talk a lot about your inner world and
Hmm.
expressing your inner world, and just thinking about that. Like, do you have any not tips, because I think everyone's different, but do you have anything you'd like to express about that?
So we constantly feel everything is happening outside of us.
Mm.
But interestingly, everything is happening inside
Yeah.
of us. Like, how we perceive things, how we interact with people, how I'm feeling what I'm feeling, what is it that I'm, holding on to. So there is this a lot going on in the inner
Mm.
world. And like you very beautifully said, seeing your own story, or, if you're able to step out, be
Yeah.
the witness, and watch a part of your story, there can be beautiful insights. It's like, you
Yeah.
can have a new novel response to the same old situation. There could be times where you realize, oh, let me take a step back. Maybe this is how I am dealing with it and I need to change my approach to something.
Absolutely.
And something that I've learned from mostly all of my trainers is, which I'm sure you're aware of, is you cannot change people around you.
No.
You cannot change your circumstances. So, sometimes when clients come into therapy, they're like, this is wrong, that is wrong in my life,
Mm,
this circumstance, this person is troubling me. We can't help you change any of that external factors. But if you change your inner world and you
mm,
start understanding what's happening, why it's happening, and how would you want to now deal with it,
yeah.
that is so powerful, and that creates that whole change of also being empathetic to yourself
Mm,
and to people around you. Sometimes we are very harsh and very critical for on our own self.
mhm.
Don't allow or give that space. Maybe we would have been okay with somebody else in that situation and
Yeah.
have comforted that person or give them empathy, but when it's me, I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything happens in the inner world.
Absolutely. And I don't know why this come up, but I feel like it's something that needs to be mentioned. But yeah, only this morning I was reading about forgiveness and how
Mm.
it was just a story of a lady went to someone for to have like help with a physical something physical that was happening. And obviously she was sharing her experience of how it happened, and the person said, but have you forgiven the person that that was involved in the
Mm.
situation? And she hadn't. And then it was obviously, I don't want to go into all the ins and outs, but basically then the person said, well, until you forgive that person, I actually can't really help you. And the moment she forgave that person, her body naturally started to heal anyway.
Mm. Mm.
Um, and I just feel like with what you're doing and creating and expressing, some people aren't going to be at a point to do that straight away, but maybe once the unfolding is happening and actually it is in a more safe, uplifting, empowering environment, um, and then they start to see the different perspectives and actually the blessing of what that teacher, usually that greatest teacher, taught us. You can see now I see why I have this resilience. Now I see why I have this motivation. So it's not necessarily about that person being thank you, thank you. Of course not. There's some situations that are super painful, but can you see how that outcome really fueled you into the incredible person you are today? And I think that's the power of it, is not necessarily being like, oh, I'm so happy that that happened. Of course, like that's not what we're promoting. But yeah, I think just to see the blessing still in it.
Yeah, that's so powerful that you just spoke about forgiveness, and about how the body reacts to these things. I was just talking to my team about this book, Body Keeps Score, which
Mm,
I've been, it's a book worth reading and rereading. And I've also experienced it in my personal life, and
yeah,
I've seen a lot of clients. Many times people come with cancer, tumor, these kind
yeah,
of things, and so many times it is resentment,
yeah.
anger. It could be I haven't forgiven somebody. And Shell, honestly, many a times it is also about not being able to forgive yourself.
I was just about to say that. So, my biggest insight at the end of the whole of this, because it was like, is there someone you can think about that you need to forgive? And I was really thinking, I was like,
Hmm.
generally, I don't really like, and it's not again suppressing, but I was like, okay, I'm really going to go in to think about this. And I was like, and then I went, oh my gosh, I'm always constantly judging myself. And I
Oh.
was like, hello, she's right in front of you.
Uh, so this is amazing. It recently happened with me. Okay, I was facing some perimenopausal issues and some health issues, and then I realized there's some cyst, and of course everything is good and fine. But when you're in this profession, you also know, look at what is not healed. Go back into therapy, So many times it's interesting, people feel if you're a therapist or you are in the mental health space, you're perfectly fine. You know
Mm.
it all. It's not the theory. Ultimately, I'm a human being too.
Exactly.
And what I realized was what I was holding on to, not forgiving myself about a
Yeah.
particular situation, that why did I not stand up for myself? And when
Mm.
I did that work, of course, in psychodrama with my trainers. And in our trainings, the beauty is that you work with the group, and then a lot of your work also gets done because we practice with each other. So that's the place where we can safely take our issues and work on it. And I always feel therapy is lifelong, self work
Mm.
is lifelong.
Yes.
So that's where I'm sitting with this, because this has recently happened where I realized that, it's more difficult to forgive yourself
Yeah.
than to forgive somebody else. Because when I
Absolutely.
was asked this question, I was sitting with a list of people. Okay, I got hurt by this person, that person, but I've
Mm.
forgiven this one. I've forgiven. Ultimately, the realization was you haven't forgiven yourself,
Yes. Same. Yeah. Yeah.
which
Thank
is
you.
so important.
Absolutely, and even going back to the reliving of things, even down to a choice you made of, oh, well, why did I leave that country when I was so happy, or why? Or, these are underlining things of you being unkind to yourself, of you were not in a position to make that decision, and why did I trust my inner calling that yes, this was the best for me, and now look at my life. Like all these things are us being very, very, very judgmental and unkind to ourselves. And yeah, I realize, yeah. And the lifelong thing is definitely
Yeah, it
very
is. It's like how people give the analogy, the way you want a good body, you need to work out, you need to go to the gym. The same way to
yes,
have mental peace and well-being, it's constant work, no matter who you are. Whether you're a
absolutely.
therapist, whether you're a person. In fact, we deal with so much trauma when we are listening
Yeah.
to people's stories, when you're working with them. It's important to, go back, talk to your supervisor. It's
Mm,
important to have that self care for yourself. Do things, that really
yeah,
nurture you, nourish you, so that you can then sit in that pain with somebody else. So it takes a lot.
absolutely. And I think that goes back to the vulnerability you mentioned earlier, because as you said, like sometimes again we create it ourselves of, the titles and what we're representing. These people are coming to me for this, that, and the other. But actually, and then, oh gosh, if they know this about me and the stories again, so loud.
Mm,
We're in the space, the same space, but the stories are the loud thing, not the space. And actually, when you then really see it and you really look at it from their perspective,
mm,
that I think is even more healing. That wow, this
mm,
woman who has done all these incredible modalities,
mm,
she's really like showing me this in my life that's going to completely change it. But
mm,
still, she's able to sit with and still show her vulnerability. Like
mm,
I think that's powerful, and that's what I think a lot of us miss. We really create these personas again without
mm,
knowing that we're
mm.
still showing up as Shelley, the empowerment coach, or Shelley, and it's like, no, just be Shelley, just be me,
Yes.
just be
Yes.
you,
Yes.
and actually people will respect and honor and open up more to that, I think.
I totally agree, because I have never shied away from my own story or from
Yeah.
being vulnerable. I was in therapy 4 or 5 years back, and for me, it was like when I was in therapy, and my psychiatrist would be like, Rashmi, you'll make a good psychodramatist. I would be like,
Mm.
yeah. In my head, it would be like, I'm sitting here, looking for
Mm.
healing from you, and you're telling me that I can go and do this. But he said something so beautiful that stays with me till date, Shell, is he said, the reason for your pain can be different, the source can be
Mm.
different. But if you know what pain feels like,
Yeah.
you will be able to sit in that pain for somebody else. And all people need is for you to hold them in that space, that today you feel supported by your family or friends and they are giving it to you. So it'll be easy for you to do that. And I actually got curious about psychodrama, and I have shared this openly even in my reels and podcasts, and that in my medical file, I was tagged bipolar. I was on very strong medication, antidepressants, tablets that I used to take in a day, which felt like that maybe I'll never, this is my life now.
Yeah.
I need to pop these pills. But as I started working on myself with psychodrama, healing started happening, the medicine started going down. And then I got, I was like, wow, this modality is amazing. If a person like me who just doesn't want to live my life anymore can reach here, then, I got curious and I wanted to learn. With that little push from my doctor, I attended one workshop and then there was no looking back. There were so many questions at this age. I'm changing my career. Do I really want to do this? But it was so powerful and healing that, I just couldn't sit with it that, okay, it's healed me and I'm okay. It's just ignited that passion that probably I've not had for anything else in my life. So for me, I feel vulnerability is my strength.
Yes.
It took me a lot of time to start opening up and sharing at that point. But I think people who have seen this in life can really understand and heal others.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for sharing that. And I know even in you sharing that, that'll be such a gift for so many people listening, because again, and it's not saying any of these labels, any of the medication, like we are all on our own path and we are doing the best we can with whichever resources, whatever advice we have. But also I love that you really highlighted that you didn't allow that you didn't allow that definition to become you. And you got curious, and this is super important. Not again being unkind, judgmental to yourself and being like, no, this is not me. You got curious, and that curiosity actually was the key. And it's just really interesting that you're mentioning that, because I think we're presented with things in life. This is something I've noticed recently. And we're really presented with something. And in that moment, we have the option to do the same as we know or choose a different path. And I noticed I was always running towards the opposite direction. And I ran so hard towards the opposite direction so much in my life. And I was really great at running towards the opposite direction, but I missed all of the vulnerability in between. And I noticed recently with something that's entered my own life, I'm back, not back to square one, but I'm back with a new mindset, a new way of approaching things. And I'm really sitting in what I always ran away from most of my life. And do I know what the outcome will be? Do I know what the unfolding will be? No. But that's the beauty of the journey, because I realized that I may have felt empowered by the direction I was running in, but I wasn't allowing anyone close to get close enough to me. Whereas now, when I'm back with pretty much no choice because of decisions I've made, which is ironic that we're talking about, oh, it's me I have to forgive. And I'm really, at still a choice I've made, have to sit with what it is. It feels actually not as scary as I thought it was going to be.
That's beautiful. And I heard you use the word choice so many times, which reminds me, in psychodrama, there is this powerful statement: you always have a choice. Even when we think we do not, even when we feel that, oh, the circumstances are like this, or this is what people are doing, there is always a choice.
Absolutely.
And also I would like to just go back to the previous thing that I shared, and this can be a disclaimer. I'm not saying I'm against medication, or there are situations where you need medication, please seek that support.
Yeah.
And along with therapy, the healing will happen, because sometimes I realize this can be misunderstood or
Yeah.
misinterpreted that, oh, then I should not take medicines or I will get addicted. We have those thoughts, but there are times you just need them.
Absolutely.
So,
And
I'm sorry I
yeah.
jumped back on
No,
that, but
no, no. I'm happy you did.
important for me
No.
to, really, like,
Yeah.
disclaimer.
Yeah.
We both are not here to
Nope.
say that,
Absolutely.
you need it,
Absolutely.
please take it and use all the resources and support that you can get. Uh,
Absolutely.
Coming back to what you're saying about choice, so in one of the trainings, this came up where it was like, imagine you're in a room and it's all walls and you need to get out. What do you do? So it's like, okay, I will first look for a door. Okay, there's no door. Let me start searching if there is a window. Oh, there's no window. Do I have some tools to pick and create that window for myself? That's what I feel choice is about. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes life won't give it to you like this, that this is available or that is. In fact, most of the times it doesn't.
It's
You
usually
have to.
behind you. Behind you. And then you turn around and now it's in front of you.
Exactly. So it's on your perspective, your approach, having said that, I feel it's not also always about I'm strong, I can do this.
No.
No, right now I'm hurting. This is painful. Sit with that.
Yeah.
Share that with someone too. You know what? This is hurting like hell.
Yes, yes.
Grief. I mean, we just brush grief under the carpet. There are so many people who are dealing with grief. But it's like, no, but this is how life is. I need to move on. It's okay. A loss is a loss.
Yeah.
Sit with it.
Absolutely.
Let people support you. Let people see you in that pain. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for highlighting that. And yeah, because I feel like, that there's such a judgment again on the different emotions and allowing people to see the different emotions and then how they will, start thinking of us if they don't see us in always our best light. And yeah, one of my biggest things are actually, if I can accept someone for all their versions, all their emotions and still love them, then they should be, no one, again, everyone has free will choice, but why can't me? And often it's because we've created that. We haven't allowed them the privilege sometimes, I think, to see all versions of us.
I like the word that you used. We are not allowing them the privilege, because most of the times it is seen as, I don't want to trouble somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to burden my family. Oh, I don't want my friends to be worried about me. But when you share, actually, now when people share, I say thank you. Like you did a while ago, that thank you, Rashmi, for sharing this.
Yeah.
Because it takes strength to share, and for the other person also, they feel happy that you could trust them and you could share this part of your life with them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I'm guessing a lot of, but obviously you can elaborate on this, but I'm guessing a lot of the psychodrama is in person because you really need to feel that connection. But I feel like you just even talking about it, planting that seed is already starting that curiosity. And it's in conversations like this that 100+ year modality is going to really, have that impact, and people will start to become more curious. Okay, they might not be in your location right now, but there's ways we can find a solution, like that room.
Yes.
Okay, let's not think so close-minded, everybody. Let's really think about how we can make lots more solutions so there's access to the whole world, whether that's virtually, whether that's in person. If you really, really have, I believe this in the power of intention, you really believe in something, it will happen. You can make it happen. So I'm so thankful for you expressing that. If there's anything else, like anything else you're offering, or anything you want to share with the viewers, please feel free to use the time now.
Uh, what I really am striving to achieve is I would love to create a lot of these community spaces for people where you get together and you create that safe space. It takes time. It takes time. We build that. We help people build that. But engaging human connections are so powerful, and this is what is our innate need and desire. We are all social beings, and you know go find people you can talk to.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a coffee shop, just get up and approach somebody. Talk to a friend. Be the listener. It's not always that you may feel, oh, everything is fine and I'm okay, but look out for these signs in people around you. Sometimes, like my podcast says, let's talk. The first step and the most simple thing is just to be able to open up and talk. And if you have one person in your life with whom you can do that,
Gold.
that's it. And don't shy away from seeking help.
Absolutely.
When you really feel stuck, when you really feel, don't judge yourself so much that why can't I handle this situation on my own. Like, with physical issues, we are so okay to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
But if you're struggling, like you mentioned earlier, when your whole inner world is upside down, please go, seek help, talk to the right people who can, guide you. I'm not saying there are 157 modalities.
Wow.
Whatever works for you, whether it's art therapy, whether it's music, whether it's talk therapy, it could be different for you, Shel. It will be different for me. But don't hesitate and go ask for that help and seek that help.
Absolutely.
Is what I would.
And I think be curious. Be curious, because in being curious, you'll start to know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and sometimes
I think it's interesting you mentioned this. So now I'm looking at that perspective about myself. Oh yes, I've been curious about so many things in life, and this curiosity keeps me going, keeps me the learner that I am. And probably that's why I have this analogy of if there is no window in your room, create one. Or I always feel when people say there is always a solution to a problem, I feel there are 100 solutions to a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's how you look at it. It's how, okay, is it that it's not going to be painful? It will. There are some issues and problems, like you rightly mentioned, it will hurt you, it will be painful. But there is always a solution. And if I need to leave the listeners with one statement, it would be, you always have choice.
Well, you so beautifully just summarized what I was about to ask you, and obviously if there's something else that comes up, feel free. But I always say at the end, if there's something you would like to tell the listeners right now,
I'm sorry,
really
probably.
them.
No, because I've watched your podcast, I love them. So maybe, it was in my subconscious and I jumped and I gave
No,
the
it's perfect. I love it. But yeah, no, I agree. We always do. Even when that choice is not always an easy choice to make, we always have a choice. And that's why I believe when you're particularly making very, very life-changing choices, quiet your mind, really go within, block out all the opinions, all the external noise, because essentially it's something that you are creating, you are making. And it's something that you're going to have to carry in your life. Again, how we do that is up to us. But just really, really trust in yourself and know that you can make that choice for yourself. And you will receive the support. You will receive the guidance. You will receive incredible people entering your life. And just trust yourself.
Yeah, that's so true for me and for people I have worked with, and I have seen that happen. That's really true.
Because often, and I know you said there's not always just like one choice, normally there's multiple, but sometimes we are faced with this or that, and actually both options sometimes are not a choice you want to make at that time.
Again, interestingly, I call it the choice between bad and worst. When we say a choice between good and bad, I also say, I remember as a kid, I used to tell my dad, I was like, but this is a choice between bad and worst. What do I do? So he said, what do you want to do?
Well,
What
which
will
one's
you
the
do?
worst?
And do you still want to go with the worst because that's the choice you want
Mm,
to make it and go with it.
yeah.
And nobody says you can't change it.
Yes,
Like,
and what I
you made
found,
that choice, you walked that
yeah.
path.
And what I found as well is usually the one you fear the most, and you have the most loudest opinions and judgments, and everything, like everything's going to completely collapse, and you know, my life, oh, drama, um, is often the one that I believe, and whether people use this word or not, but that your soul really needs.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
And like again, you have a choice to change it.
yes. And
You've taken a
also,
decision.
we
Yeah.
don't know the outcome. We have created that story. It hasn't actually happened.
And it's when you reach there. But has your journey been amazing? Or you're so focused on the outcome that you're miserable in that journey? Is
Yeah.
it worth it? Like, sometimes we are in a profession that we don't want to be in. Sometimes you're in a relationship you don't want to be in. Maybe the outcome looks nice, but are you
Mm-mm.
happy each day, every moment?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
choice.
And I think also preparation sometimes is key. It doesn't have
Hmm.
to be, okay, today that's it. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
we human, give yourself time to really process and really think and do what's best for you. Um,
Yes.
and it's easy to say, oh, change that relationship, do that. But
Hmm.
sometimes people need time. They need to feel
Yes.
safe. They need to
Yes.
feel, yeah. So we're all different, and that's what makes this world so beautiful.
Yes.
It,
Yes.
it's
Definitely.
it's been an absolute pleasure today. I'm so happy we connected, and may your own podcast be so blessed. I love all you're doing and all you're creating, and same with all you're doing. I want to see it all around the world for everyone to experience. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Shel, for having me here. And it's been a wonderful experience, and I resonate with what you're saying. Uh, like when we were having a conversation earlier, you said two women empowering each other. That was so beautiful. There's no competition, holding each other together. And it was wonderful. I didn't even realize that we've been talking for quite some time now. It just had a great flow. Thank you so much. And good luck to you. You're doing a great job too with the podcast, and I love your episodes.
Thank you so much.